Good morning and welcome back to my channel. We are starting lecture number 73, Bio section. This is new chapter, Plant Kingdom. In this video, we will talk about types of life cycles seen in plant kingdom. And we will also understand this important concept of alternation in generation. Why alternation in generation is seen only in plant kingdom, not in animal kingdom. Okay, so let's start this lecture now. So this is the NTA syllabus. First I will cover this part, so then it will be easy for you to understand the whole classification. These topics will be covered in this week. So kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms. This is important. They contain chlorophyll, they are photosynthetic, they are autotrophic. There are certain exceptions. So usually we understand and we learn exceptions at the end, but in this video I will first talk about exceptions. So some plants which are partially heterotrophic. Okay, so two categories are insectivorous plants. So as the name suggests, these plants eat insects. And then there are parasites. They depend on other plants to extract nutrients. So three examples you will have to learn in this case. Bladderwort and Venus flytrap are insectivorous plants. Cuscuta is a parasite. So this is bladderwort. Bladderwort, this name comes from the small bag-like structure they have. Okay, so this bladder, it has negative pressure inside. Okay, so it can suck anything that comes at the mouth of this bladder. So water flea, amoeba, mosquito larva, these are sucked in at turbo speed. These images are from this YouTube channel, Animal Logic. So you can see the actual video there, and they have done a time lapse. So this particular mosquito, okay, it slowly comes at the tip over here, and then in next moment it will be sucked in. Okay, and it will be digested inside. It has all the digestive juices in the bag. So this is how it feeds on insects. Next one is Venus flytrap, another example of insectivorous plant. So see, this insect lands here and it doesn't close immediately, it waits. So the insect, when it goes in, then immediately this will close and trap the insect inside. So these images are from another YouTube channel, Flytrap Garden. There are several videos, interesting videos, you can check this. And then Cuscuta, this is parasite. So you can see here web-like structure. Okay, this will wrap the host plant and then it will develop certain structures which are called hostoria, and they will extract nutrients from host vascular system. So this is the parasite plant, Cuscuta. The next feature of plant kingdom is their cell wall. It is made up of cellulose, and these are the five categories: algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So what is alternation of generations? See, the haploid plant body produces gametes by mitosis. This plant represents a gametophyte. The whole structure is made up of haploid cells. Then these gametes will fertilize and they will form zygote. Zygote will divide by mitosis to produce a diploid sporophytic plant body. So because zygote is the result of fusion of two gametes, this will be diploid. So if this forms a structure by mitosis, the whole structure will be diploid. Okay, so that plant body is called sporophytic plant body. This was gametophytic plant body. This is sporophytic plant body. Gametophytic is haploid in nature and this one is diploid. And then sporophyte will produce haploid spores by meiosis. Okay, and then these spores will germinate and form gametophyte again. So during the life cycle of any sexually reproducing plant, there is alternation of generations between gamete producing haploid gametophyte and spore producing diploid sporophyte. So see, gametophyte, in case of flowering plants you will learn this, the pollen grain is called male gametophyte and embryo sac is called female gametophyte. When I was a student, I used to think that stamen is gametophyte, but that is wrong. So the main thing which you have to remember is the individual cells should be haploid. Then only you can call it gametophyte. So here the vegetative cell as well as generative cell both are haploid. And here also in embryo sac, antipodals, synergids, egg, they are haploid. And central cell has two different nuclei. Okay, so it has two nuclei and each nuclei is haploid. So the important feature of gametophyte is they will have haploid cells. So unique feature about plants is both haploid and diploid cells can undergo mitosis. In animals, only diploid cells typically undergo mitosis. So if this question is asked to you that why alternation in generation is seen only in plants, so the right answer will be because both haploid as well as diploid cells in plants can undergo mitosis. Okay. The phenomenon in the life cycle of plants of having two distinct phases, the diploid sporophytic phase and haploid gametophytic phase. I hope you will remember this. Gametophyte are haploid, sporophyte are diploid. Now, what is the difference between algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms and angiosperms? So they vary in the length of haploid and diploid phases, and they also vary in the fact that whether the phases are free living or dependent. So now one by one we will look into the life cycle of the 5 different categories in plant kingdom. So algae, algae shows haplontic life cycle. Then bryophytes and pteridophytes, they show haplo-diplontic life cycle. And gymnosperms and angiosperms, they show diplontic. Now you can see there is evolution happening towards the diploid sporophytic phase. Okay, so during evolution, you will see that the gametophyte size reduces. Okay, so based on this, there was a question in NEET 2014. Male gametophyte with least number of cells is present in. So to make the question difficult, they had given only these names. Okay, so as a student, your responsibility is to learn these names and to which category they belong. To simplify this question, I have written the categories in bracket. Okay, the original question is without these extra information. So Pteris is pteridophyte, this is bryophyte, Lilium is angiosperm, and Pinus belongs to gymnosperm. So as I told you that during evolution the gametophyte size decreases. Okay, so the least number of cells will be seen in angiosperms. So answer of this question is option number 3. So the first life cycle is haplontic life cycle. So here the dominant phase will be haploid. Okay, and which particular structure is haploid? It is the gametophyte. So this is seen in algae. Haplontic life cycle seen in algae. The dominant photosynthetic phase in such plant is free living gametophyte. Sporophytic generation is represented only by one-celled zygote. So this is the life cycle of Chlamydomonas. So you can see here this is unicellular algae. So after fertilization it forms zygote, But then zygote undergoes meiosis, and immediately unicellular haploid cells, they start behaving as the intact chlamydomonas, okay, because the whole structure is unicellular. So there are no free living sporophytes. Now you will see other examples also where we will see multicellular organism. So there the haploid spores divide mitotically and they form the gametophyte. Okay, so overall haploid phase, it dominates, and this is the reason life cycle of algae is called haplontic life cycle. These are different examples we will study tomorrow in lecture number 74. Now in this life cycle, you can see both haploid and diploid phases. Okay, this is the reason it is called haplo-diplontic life cycle. So it is seen in bryophytes and pteridophytes. Gametophyte is the dominant phase. In pteridophyte, sporophyte is the dominant phase. The sporophyte in bryophyte is not free living, whereas the gametophyte of pteridophyte is free living, it is photosynthetic. So see, the sporophyte is not free living, it is attached to the gametophyte. You will understand this well when we cover bryophytes in detail. So it will be lecture number 75. Okay, we will be talking about these examples. And then in pteridophyte, these are the examples we will discuss. And then finally, diplontic life cycle, you can see the sporophyte dominates. The diploid phase, it dominates. Diplontic life cycle is seen in gymnosperms, angiosperms. Diploid sporophyte is dominant, photosynthetic, independent phase of the plant. Gametophytic phase is represented by single to few celled haploid gametophyte. So this kind of life cycle is termed diplontic. All seed bearing plants, gymnosperms and angiosperms, follow this pattern. So gymnosperms, these are the examples, and angiosperm, only in plant kingdom we have two examples, and then we have lot of examples in later chapters. So this was all about haplontic, diplontic, haplo-diplontic life cycle. Hope this video was helpful to you. Tomorrow we will talk about algae, salient features, classification, and all examples of algae. Thank you so much for watching this video and take good care of yourself.